What up, everybody? Welcome to the Savage Land, and welcome to another episode of The Field. And today on The Field, we're going to be going over Sergeant Slaughter, version 1 from Hasbro, and version 2 from Valorverse Action Force. And to start off, I'll just say both of these guys are good figures. Now, by the end of this, I'll have an analysis on which one is the better one for me. Which one do I feel like is the closest thing to Sergeant Slaughter when I look at Sergeant Slaughter, if I just close my eyes and say, hey, I got a vision of Sergeant Slaughter. But we'll just go to each individual thing that they possess and hold and their characteristics, and we'll just build upon our case upon that. But first off, we're going to start. I just basically took a picture, man, just mixing in Valorverse and Gijoe, showing the two brands blended, which if you watch my channel, you know that I say that these two brands are made for each other, really. And the soldiers look good up against each other. Nobody looked really like off and out of place, even though G.I. Joe, as far as character design, is a little bit more extreme than Valorverse. Now, up on the turntable here, we got the V1 Hasbro Sarge, and if you don't even know what I'm talking about, the V1 Hasbro Sarge is the bigger one. Okay, so every time I say V1 Hasbro, he's the bigger guy, and then the smaller one is the Action Force of Valorverse. But I got them on the turntable with both their hats and glasses on. Something that's bothered me the whole time by making this video is just how wonky Valorverse's glasses are, because it's really thin. But I just put it up there just to show you that, hey, he does have hat and glasses. Far as hat and glasses, the Hasbro Sergeant Slaughter, I actually like that hat. It's a softer, more pliable plastic, and the glasses are, even though it's a thin plastic, they're sturdy. I don't have a problem with them going anywhere. The Valorverse glasses were kind of bent up out of the package, and the hat is a hard material, which is the same thing they make their guns out of, which in this case, it wasn't really a good idea to make the hat hard. You want it kind of more soft, like a real hat, so it could kind of almost like squeeze upon his head like the Hasbro Sergeant Slaughter. So in some pictures, you're going to see this Valorverse Sergeant Slaughter with no hat or glasses on, because that's just the way I'm going to display him, and I think he looks better like that, even though he looks more like Sarge with his hat and glasses on, if I don't get myself tongue-tied talking about that. So pretty much both these guys have great articulation, man. Both have double jointed arms, double jointed legs, good ankle rockers. As you can see, both of these guys can get busy. I like a strong action figure, man, and as you can see, even though one's bigger than the other, they both can lift up bad guys. And the smaller Sarge, of course, can't do a bench press like that, but you see he was getting busy too. Now, as far as their weapons wise, the Valorverse Sarge has better weapons. That's what a Sarge is supposed to have. On his hip, he has a hand cannon. It looks like a 357 or something like that. And then he has this grenade launcher, which is sick. So a lot of times in these photos of the bigger Sarge had his weapons. Now, Sarge from Hasbro has like that AK-47 kind of weapon, and then he has his little baton, his drill sergeant baton, and he has a whistle, which he probably can use that for a weapon. The only thing that's really unique about the Hasbro Sarge is that toy that he comes with. And I guess a lot of people wonder why, but it's almost a thing like Sarge is larger than life. He's so larger than life, his toy has a toy. And I think that's what the running joke of that was, but I like it. Now, as far as their hands, Hasbro Sarge, I believe, has 8 hands. And on this little photo here, that's not including the ones on their bodies, and the Valorverse has 9 hands. And because they gave him a pointing finger, which with the Hasbro Sarge, he gets 2 pointing fingers, Valorverse almost threw that pointing finger in, that pointing hand in there, almost like an extra hand. So he has 9, one has 8. The Valorverse Sarge has a backpack and hat, which I don't care too much for. So they're pretty almost matched on accessories what they come with, even though they're close in price. One is like $33.99 and the other one's $31.99. And like I said before, man, I like a strong action figure like that Hasbro Sarge. Like, look at that shit, man. Look at that shit. Like, I don't have any sticky tack on that or anything. That's just straight balance and an arm joint that's strong as hell. He's a big guy. Like the Hercules action figure that I have from Marvel Legends I did a couple of weeks ago is strong like that. But this is impressive, man. He's going on around. You can see the action figure jiggling. So it's just off balance and strength, really, man. And it's awesome, man. So a very agile figure. Like I said, they both have great articulation. And then, like I said, the bigger strong Sarge is a behemoth. And at the end of the day, I think that's the difference between these two Sarges. There's a O and a Holy. When I seen the Valorverse Sarge, I said, oh, shit, that's Sergeant Slaughter. And then when I seen the Hasbro Sarge, I'm like, holy shit, they got Sarge. And that's the difference between them, man. Two to make you say the same thing, but just in a little bit different expression. So, in my book, man, the Hasbro Sarge is the better one for me, I will say. Because I still like this other figure. It's actually a great action figure. Like his deco is good. But the Hasbro Sarge is the one that I think of in my head when I'm thinking of Sergeant Slaughter. I don't even think about WWF when I think about Sergeant Slaughter. I think about G.I. Joe, the cartoon. And this one nailed it. And last year when I ordered Valorverse Sarge, I already had that Sarge ordered. But you know, and the other Sarge came out, but my Valorverse Sarge was still on pre-order. I just kept it on there. I said, this ought to be interesting. I want to see how this looks, because the Valorverse Sarge was good enough to make me order it. In hindsight, I didn't really think like the size wise. I'm like, oh shit. But this Hasbro Sarge is like, he's not humanly like proportioned. You know what I'm saying? This is like cartoonish, but that's the way he needs to be. He needs to be like on some Johnny Bravo, big chest behemoth type ordeal, man, to make that pass as cartoon Sarge. I wouldn't have it any other way. But like I said, they're two good figures. And that other Sarge from Valorverse, in the end, I almost kind of see like that as his dad. He looks like Pappy Sarge or something. But I love his deco. I love the way he moves. He has a nice abdominal cut, a ball joint. Both of them have ball joints. The crazy part about it is they almost have the same exact articulation, especially the way their legs move. I like, there's not one either nor better than the other. And then far as the smaller Sarge from Valorverse, he has that abdominal cut, and you know, they're far as their abdominal wise, they have good articulation. But what makes up for it with the bigger Sarge is that he has that double ball joint in his neck. You see, hey, yeah, he had great balance. I mean, that figure was still on the stand when I picked it up, you know. I mean, and it just failed after me moving it around. So, and that comes off of those gripping hands that he has, man. Those grappling hands. Those are cool. Those reminds me of wrestling hands. But two good figures. And I'm not being biased because I'm a G.I. Joe guy. I'm a pretty straight shooter. But the Hasbro Sarge is better. Not saying that Valorverse Sarge is bad. That's actually a good action figure. It has good aesthetic. It moves great. I mean, it has great accessories for guns wise. And as you can see here, I kind of flip flop. I think each other, their weapons, their own personal weapons, looks better in the opposite one's hands. You know, like the smaller Sarge looks better with that AK and that drill sergeant baton. And the bigger Sarge looks better with that freaking hand cannon. That's the best gun Valorverse has for me, in my opinion. And I know they have tons of guns, and everybody's different. Everybody will have their different gun, but that hand cannon, that 5-6 shot hand cannon right there, that's right up my alley right there. That's smooth. That's smooth. But you can see they both look great with each other's weapons, and that's what this is all about, man. This is all about the playability and the interaction between G.I. Joe. I keep pounding this every time I have a G.I. Joe episode on my channel because it's the truth. There's so much separation in this thing, and maybe I'm just playing too much into it because I have the Facebook groups and all that, but it's just too much separation in it, man, which both of these lines work phenomenally together. I think they critique each other very well. But I will have to be honest with you. My Sarge is Hasbro Sarge. They did a great job, and not taking anything away from Valorverse. But Big Sarge from Hasbro, he's the winner in this contest. For me, he looks most like Sergeant Slaughter. There's no problem with articulation. His aesthetic looks good. His sculpt is great. I mean, they didn't miss. They didn't miss at all with this guy. So there's nothing I could say is probably, I wish he had this damn hand cannon that the smaller Sarge came with, a more gun like that. I just that AK-47 looking weapon. It seemed like Sarge had more something like that 3.57 in his hand or something. And yeah, that's my analysis of it, man. Two great figures. I had an awesome time messing with both of these guys, man. So give it up for Hasbro and Valorverse. A round of applause. Let's give it up for both Sarges here. Sarge V2 from Valorverse, Sarge V1 from Hasbro, as they stand with their men. Hopefully one day I can get a shot with all my G.I. Joes, like just a big panoramic photo. That'll be dope. That'll be dope. But we'll see. I appreciate you guys coming to check me out for another episode of The Field. Been waiting a long time to unbox both of these figures. Both of these figures I had for months and months. So on this channel, we do this for the love and beauty of action figures. If you get a chance, give me a like, comment, subscribe. If you can't do that, that's cool. Check me out later. It'll always help the channel out. We never do it for the clout. Never do it for the politics. And with that being said, until the next time, God bless.